us, trusting in His word the way. Thanks to God for guiding us, leading us through Judgment Day. He will guide all the way. God will see me through each day. His commands I'll obey, serve Him throughout Judgment Day.
The problem is that the ones who are defining heresy, just like the Jews here, that in our time, the ones in the Christian churches and congregations that accuse and charge and would condemn and say, now you are a heretic, Harold Camping, Mr. Camping, you are a heretic. The big problem with that is that they themselves have turned into other gospels. I mean, when we think, for example, of those in the churches that have come together and joined hands, and with one voice they have said, no man knows a day or hour, and anyone who attempts to set a date as a heretic, they're all in agreement. They're all in agreement. And yet when you look at their confederacy, and that just means all those that are like allies joined together, at least in that understanding, and it's an amazing thing that the church finally agreed on something. As far as every other doctrine the Bible speaks of, there is absolutely no agreement. But that, by the way, should raise red flags to anyone who understands the truth of the Bible. When the church does finally come to agreement, that shouldn't give anyone any comfort or assurance that they've come to truth. Oh, no way. No way. There has to be some diabolical thing behind it if the church finally is almost unanimous in agreeing on something. But in their confederacy, in those that have joined together in unison and would condemn a good and faithful Bible teacher like Mr. Camping, and condemn really something that God sanctions in His Word, the Bible, at the time of the end, because it's God who brought forth the end time information. It's God who revealed a biblical calendar of history and opened up the understanding of His people to timelines and how it so wonderfully falls from the flood to May 21, 2011, and many other things. And for the church to come together again with a unified voice and condemn those who basically are seeking to do what God commands in 2 Peter 3, looking for and hasting unto the coming day of God. It's a command of God to look. And so we know there's something fishy. Something is not right. And then take a closer look at who has joined hands. You have 1 billion or so Catholics that have added to the Word of God. You have those who are in the charismatic churches, the tongues churches, the falling over backwards churches, which I guess you could all lump together. And there are estimates that of the professed, the about 2 billion professed Christians in the world, 500 million are charismatic. And that would mean they're another gospel. And no, that maybe some are Catholic, but the vast majority would be so-called Protestant. And so you're up already to about 1.5 billion that have another kind of a gospel. And then you have Seventh-day Adventists, Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, and on and on and on. And not to mention the free will gospel. The free will gospel is another gospel. It's not the true gospel of the Bible. And And you throw that mixture together, and you're approaching 2 billion. And but then you have maybe the worst of them, those that say they're reformed and they give lip service to uh, uh, true biblical doctrines like election and other things, but they teach election or no, how it's taught in Reformed seminaries. You believe like a Calvinist, but you preach like an Arminian. They slip in their teaching. Well, yes, we're saved by God's grace, and it's according to His election program, but you have to believe. See, that little bit of work, even more deceptive than the free will. And that's why I say they're the worst of them, because at least the free will pastor is above board and puts it right out there. This is what you have to do. The reformed pastor or theologian tries to slip it under cover of darkness and just get it in there somehow. So, and basically, this is why God has ended the church age. There are no good, faithful churches. The Lord has condemned them. They have come under the judgment of God. All churches, God has caused them to cease from feeding the flock. And these are the ones that join hands together, and with one voice, they condemn, again, a good man and a faithful man like Mr. Camping. And you know what? That should not make anyone, feel sorry or sad for poor Mr. Camping. Not at all. Here's what God tells us, and in Luke chapter 6, He says in verse 22, "Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you and cast out your name as evil. For the Son of Man's sake, rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy. For behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets." When this corrupt, apostate corporate church with one voice points their bony little finger at a good and faithful man, or at those people of God, the elect of God, that God has opened up their understanding and granted them much biblical insight into the things that He is revealing at the time of the end, well, we should thank God. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord that such a conglomerate, such a gathering of wicked men have found that we are a sect that is troublesome to them, that we are heretical as far as they're concerned. Well, thank God. Thank God, because we don't want their acceptance. We don't want them to embrace us and to hold us up and to say that we are brothers with them.
Praise to God for guiding us, trusting in His word the way. Thanks to God for guiding us, leading us through Judgment Day. He will guide all the way. God will see me through each day. His commands I'll obey. Serve Him throughout Judgment Day.